A very good afternoon and welcome to our final Friday of 2024. Welcome to the Motul Solidarity Grand Prix of Barcelona. Of course, this weekend we should have been in Valencia for our final fireworks, but due to the recent tragic flooding within the area, unfortunately not able to go there. So instead, this weekend we are racing for Valencia here in Barcelona as part of the Solidarity Grand Prix, ahead of a huge weekend. The MotoGP World Championship, as I'm sure you are aware of by now, is up for grabs. It's still on the line. Jorge Martin, 24 points clear of Pecco Bagnaia. With victory in tomorrow's sprint, Martin can get the job done. It's as simple as that. It's all in his favour. Bagnaia needing the miracle of Montmello to make sure that he is world champion again and holds on to that number one plate. And you join us after a pretty dramatic opening session of the weekend. I did not yesterday expect to be stood outside the Idemitsu LCR Honda garage ahead of his final weekend as a full-time MotoGP rider. Taka Nakagami, fastest this morning. Did not expect to be saying that, but what a result from the Japanese rider ahead of a big weekend. Of course, he's saying farewell, as is Aleix Espargaro on home soil, as is Augusto Fernandez, who was involved in another peculiar incident with teammate Pedro Acosta inside the opening minute of the weekend. When they both came together, the teammates crashed out, the red flags came out. It was a very, very weird session, rounded off by the world champion Pecco Bagnaia crashing out during the practice start session. Just so strange. He got his start wrong, burnt up the rear tyre, and then on the run down towards the opening corner, Maverick Vinales swooped around the outside. Potentially Pecco caught out by a cold tyre, potentially spooked a little bit by Maverick, but after the session had finished, during the practice start session, Bagnaia ends up at the deck at turn one. Odd session. Let's hope that things are a little bit more normal going into this afternoon. But with the conditions as they are, of course, it's a fresh November morning here in Barcelona. It means that mistakes are easy to make. But as we said, we're here racing for Valencia here this weekend, and I'm joined by two very, very special people that are helping our efforts to make sure that we are trying to properly race for Valencia here at the Solidarity Grand Prix. Hello, Jack. Hello. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
How are you? Nice to meet you.
Hi, I'm Sergi.
Sergi and Carol, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. So to bring everyone fully up to speed, there's so much going on this weekend. There's an online auction currently going on where there's a whole host of sort of money can't buy MotoGP memorabilia, including Maverick Vinales' Moto3 World Championship winning machine. There's one of the first ever Moto2 bikes that you can purchase, of course, with all funds going straight to the relief course in Valencia. There's a link in MotoGP's Instagram bio that you can go to donate, if you can, to the relief efforts, thanks to our teaming up with the Spanish Red Cross that are helping the efforts down in Valencia. And if you're in the paddock this weekend as well, lots of things going on. These guys are styling some merchandise and you can donate in the paddock. Plus, there's an auction going on in the fan zone, both this afternoon and tomorrow as well. So there we go, lots going on. Firstly, thank you for helping us out. How important is it for you guys to be helping us help Valencia in this current moment?
Yes, it's a very important job at this moment. We need the collaboration of all the people, and yes, in collaboration with Red Cross, we are collecting as much as money as we can to help these old people that has lost all the things in their lives.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much on behalf of MotoGP. We really appreciate your efforts and helping us help Valencia this weekend. Good luck. I hope you can raise lots of money.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
There we go. Great to be able to thank these guys for helping us out. And as we said, merchandise available throughout the fan park. We've got the auction going on here as well. You can donate on site, you can donate online, or you can have a look at the online auction for all of the money can't buy stuff there. A reminder, 100% of the funds we raise this weekend will be going directly via the Spanish Red Cross to the relief efforts in Valencia. As those guys were saying, closely affected by what's been going on in Valencia. So many people have lost so many things, including, importantly, loved ones. And of course, MotoGP sends our thoughts, our prayers to all of those so severely impacted by the tragic flooding that has taken place over the past couple of weeks. But we do race for Valencia here at the Solidarity Grand Prix, where I'm hoping to try and get some thoughts from a couple of the riders that have just taken part at our season finale here, including there's a young man here. Should I grab a word with him? Let's grab a word with him here. A young man here who is dressed head to toe in his Jorge Martin gear. Are you hoping for a big weekend?
Yeah, I reckon Martin will win it.
On Saturday or Sunday?
Saturday.
Oh, is he going to do it in the sprint?
Yeah, he's going to win.
So why are you a Jorge Martin fan? What do you like about Jorge?
I think Jorge's a lot more exciting than Bagnaia.
Oh, he's explosive, is Jorge, isn't he?
Yeah, he's very quick.
So moving to Aprilia next year, you've got 89 cap, 89 flag, but do you want to see him have the number one on the Aprilia next year if he gets the job done?
Yeah, he'll have the number one.
There we go, heard it here first. What's your name, young man?
Frankie Watson.
Nice to meet you, Frankie Watson. I'm Jack Appleyard. How are you? Enjoy the weekend.
Thank you, I will.
There we go. Good to catch up with Frankie, who's flying the flag for Jorge Martin this weekend. Good to see Frankie here enjoying himself. And I'm going to, if I can, let's sneak down in this direction and see if we can grab a word of the man of the hour, Maverick Viñales, just to try and get his thoughts on that rather peculiar incident involving the world champion. That's certainly going to be a talking point going into practice later on today, and then I'm sure in our media debriefs and interviews later on today as well, just to find out exactly what went on there, who was at fault. Did Maverick spook him? He was certainly close as he went around the outside, but then also there was no contact. Pecco potentially caught out by the fact that he didn't get the start right. Cold front tyre, as we've been mentioning, it is pretty chilly here. And of course, whilst we're down here as well, we can take a good look at some of the different bikes that are on show for Aleix Espargaro, a special helmet this weekend where there's two photos. The one in the very first leathers that he wore, they are a WCC, the full yellow, and then the photo from here last year when he stood on the top step of the podium with his two kids, Max and Mia. And of course, this machine is the very first Aprilia that he was able to ride all those years ago with the number 41 now making his final appearance as a full-time MotoGP rider, but he will be here on Tuesday along with his crew chief Antonio Jimenez, who is actually bowing out as a full-time crew chief after 36 seasons, can you believe, in the World Championship paddock. They're both heading to Honda to be part of their test team in 2025. I'll keep a close eye to see if anyone pops out from Aprilia, and instead, I will wander down in this direction to see if there's anybody floating around, see if there's the potential of grabbing a word or two from some of our key contenders. Of course, given the fact that there was a red flag and a bit of a delay, it means that we're sort of in a catch-22. Normally when we join you for Inside the Paddock, they're just about finishing off debriefs. Unfortunately, because they finished 2 minutes before we came on air, they're probably right in the midst of those debriefs at the moment, which is why we don't see too many riders at the moment. They're all in their boxes, I imagine, as we're down here at the World Champion for now, the number one holder for now. Let's see how he gets on. I think Pecco actually has just made his way into his office there, so we won't bother him after a frustrating one, but we do have Gino Borsoi down here, the team manager of the Prima Pramac Racing Squad. Would be good to grab a word with Gino ahead of this, the biggest weekend of his life, you would say. Of course, there's won World Championships, plenty of them in the junior categories with the Aspar squad, but to become a MotoGP World Champion, a reminder, in only his second ever full-time season as a MotoGP team boss would be an unbelievable achievement. So let's see how he's feeling. Good morning, Gino.
Morning.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good session?
Well, up and down, I have to say. We started more or less well, then we had some issue, and then at the end we were able to fix a bit. Pace is not the best one, but it's just the free plastic, so we have to work on it.
Issue with the bike or just a setup change that went in the wrong direction?
Well, I think we didn't get the right direction right now. The condition of the track are quite different compared to the race we had here in Barcelona the first time. We have to work on it because the temperature not help us, especially on front tire. We have no really great feeling, and then we have to work a bit more on the front feeling, and that also on the rear feeling. So at the moment the balance is not so good.
And how are you feeling as well? Pretty big weekend.
It's a big weekend, of course, but I'm quite calm. So I know where we are. Honestly, I know the potential of my team, how fast and good is Jorge. So it's not end of the world, of course, and I don't need to think about nothing bad. We have a great potential. We have a great target. So just do the same as always, and that's it.
You've won World Championships before as a team boss with Aspa, Moto2, Moto3. Does this feel any different?
Well, it's different, of course, because this is MotoGP. But at the end of the day, it's a title. So luckily, I know how to manage this kind of situation. The pressure a bit more, of course, compared to Moto2 and 1 to 5 and Moto3. But it's something that I already know, so it's not new for me, and I have to follow my sensation and do the same.
Good luck.
Thank you.
There we go, good to chat with Gino. We actually saw the man of the moment, Jorge Martin, behind us, making his way into his office after a problem-free... Well, actually, no, Gino just told us there were some problems during that session, but more problem-free than what Bagnaia, of course, had to try and overcome, given the fact that, as we've been telling you, he ended up in the gravel trap down at turn 1. But clearly, due to the conditions here, as we always get in Valencia as well at this time of the year, it is considerably cooler than when we come in May and we're in the middle of summer. So given that, given the fact that the nature of this circuit is very low grip, also not many left-hand corners as well, so when you finally make your way through down to problem areas, turn 2 in particular, then turn 5 as well, it's very easy to make mistakes. It's very easy for the front to tuck at turn 2, and in particular we saw during that session then the amount of riders that were riding through turn 2 as you go right through the opening corner and then left into turn 2, how upright they were, almost as if they were riding in the wet, just to try and make sure that that front end still had some feeling and they weren't going to have any front tuck issues, as Alex Marquez just cruises through behind us. Potentially, go on, I'm getting dragged back in this direction. Let's grab a word with Alex. Home Grand Prix for him, so we can definitely come and have a word with the number 73 down here with his fan club, signing lots of things, getting lots of photos. Of course, there's a big gathering of the Alex Marquez fan club, unsurprisingly, given that he grew up not too far away from here. You see the 73 flags in full show. And we'll grab a quick word with the number 73 afterwards before we then allow him to get changed and get ready for lunch. And a reminder as well, as we've said, make sure you're tuning in throughout the weekend practice. 60 minutes, an important one, gets underway at 3 o'clock local time, TSO Sprint tomorrow 3 o'clock local time, and then the final Grand Prix of the year. Will that World Championship still be up for grabs? 2 o'clock local time for the Solidarity Grand Prix of Barcelona. You definitely don't want to miss it. It's going to be fascinating to see who is world champion, and of course make sure you're with us on Tuesday as well for the first day of 2025, the Barcelona test getting underway, where I think we've figured out it's 13 riders and teams that will be either moving colours or manufacturers. So much to look forward to. Jorge Martin on an Aprilia, Marco Bezzecchi on an Aprilia, Jack Miller and Miguel Oliveira on a Yamaha, Maverick Vinales and Enea Bastianini on a KTM. Of course, Marc Marquez making his debut in the factory colours of Ducati. Hello. I was just relaxing there, waffling on whilst you were looking at Alex Marquez. Plus Prima Pramac Racing, of course, making their switch across from Ducati to Yamaha as well. There's a lot to look forward to. In particular, I think a lot of people, if there's a number one on that Aprilia, are going to be so excited to see what the world champion potentially Will he be world champion? That's the first question to answer. What he's able to do on the RSGP on Tuesday and then throughout 2025 as well. Not to get carried away because we've still got 2024 to settle, but 2025 is looking pretty spectacular. Yamaha can take a step. They've got their star man in the form of Fabio Quartararo. Pedro Costa now in full factory orange alongside Brad Binder. They've got their star men. Can KTM take a step? Jorge Martin is surely going to lead the charge for Aprilia. And then, of course, Ducati have got that dream lineup of Pecco Bagnaia and Marc Marquez. So it's going to be fascinating to see where the lay of the land is in 2025. It's right on cue, final selfies, and then we can grab a word with Alex Marquez. Hopefully it's been a little bit better. I was chatting to him throughout the weekend in Malaysia and he was a little bit under the weather there. Final flyaway, the usual air conditioning into humidity can make you feel a little bit under the weather. He was blocked up with a cold on the lemon vitamins, he said, and apparently it did the job because he was on the front row there, had a pretty good weekend. So there you go, recommendation for everyone at home. As the winter months come in, if you're feeling a little bit under the weather, take the advice of young Alex Marquez, get some lemon vitamins inside of you, and that will spruce you up. It will give you a new lease of life, just as it did for the 73. Who, we've picked the wrong rider here, has so many fans that I'm having to waffle on for what feels like forever and a day. I mean, we've waited this long now. We might as well wait an extra 30 seconds just to grab a quick word with him. That's the spirit. Right, here we go. This is what we like. Instead of doing one-by-one photos, let's get everybody in together just to speed up the operation here. There we go. Job done. Alex, very quickly, how was that?
Not bad, cold.
Yeah, turn 2, turn 5 looked like you had to take some caution.
Yeah, it was difficult there to manage, but if you put the heat on the tire properly, it's not bad. So we'll try a little bit in afternoon. Will be hotter, so we'll be better for that.
Good, thank you.
Thank you.
There we go. Cold is the word. As former mechanic, this is Guille, who used to work with Alex, actually helped him win his Moto2 World Championship in the Mark VDS squad back in 2019, and you can see he's just saying hello to his little lad there. They have a good relationship. Guille is a man that's been in the paddock for quite a number of years, now works for the Red Bull Rookies Cup, so good to see. Right, we're going to squeeze through if we can, just before we get the selfies. Where are we? I don't want a selfie with you, Alex, don't worry, I'm just waiting for my camera to come through. Here we go. Right, let's rock and roll. Excuse me, sir. No problem. Thank you. There we go. Right, who else have we got? Anybody else floating around potentially? There's no one down here at VL46. Jack, hello, how are you? Let's see, maybe we can grab a word, if we can be really cheeky with Taka Nakagami after he was fastest this morning. The news eye in me is keen to try and grab a word with Maverick Vinales, but I'm not seeing Maverick popping around just yet, so maybe he's floating around. Is this him right on cue? It is not. So unfortunately, with no Maverick floating around, why don't we go for the other story of the morning in Taka Nakagami? And if we can't get anyone down at LCR Honda, then we'll have to call it a day, and we'll come back tomorrow to try our best for the final episode of Inside the Paddock. Can you believe it? 20 rounds, we've done 40 of them. Well, this is 39, we'll have done 40 of them. Come tomorrow, it'll be emotional as we say farewell. And another reminder as well, talking of things that are coming up, Tuesday, as we said, Barcelona test, Sunday night, MotoGP Gala, live from the EMNAC, which is the Catalan Museum for National Art, something like that. Spectacular venue, right on the top of the fountains of Montjuic. It's going to be stunning. Make sure you join us for that. Myself, Gavin Emmett, Imi Barkley will be bringing you all the proceedings as we not only put the latest plaque on the Champions Tower, but we also reveal the brand new MotoGP brand. A new logo, a new everything. MotoGP certainly taking a step into the future in 2025, and that's fully revealed Sunday, 9 o'clock, local time here in Barcelona. So make sure you join us for that. And before we say goodbye, I want to grab a word with this man, Lucio Cecchinello, if possible. Very, very quickly, Lucio.
Hello. Hi.
How are you?
Of course, I'm happy.
Smiling, and for good reason.
I'm good. However, I must say that I want to keep absolutely the feet on the ground, because Taka was only of the few riders putting new tires, and then the new tires effectively play a very important role, especially on this racetrack, where you stress a lot the tire, especially on the right side. So it's okay. Let's say it's a good Friday morning, and then we have the smile.
But final weekend for Taka to come into the box, sit in his chair and see P1, that must have brought a smile to his face.
That's absolutely true, absolutely true. And yeah, I think is the best way to start his last, let's say, race as a regular MotoGP rider, because hopefully he will do some wild card in the future.
He's set the standards now. There's nowhere else to go from P1. He's got to try stay there for the rest of the weekend.
It's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult. I repeat. I think the reality is that because we were one of the few putting the new tires. So let's see what happens after. For me, it will be really good if we can go straight in Q2. So let's see.
Good job, Lucio.
Thank you.
Top 10 the target, for sure, for both of his guys. What a Friday it would be. And he's been close, in Japan in particular. He missed out by just a fraction of a second. It would be pretty special. We've seen Johann Zarco do it on 3 occasions now over the past couple of Grand Prix. If both Johann Zarco and Taka Nakagami, after all of the problems that Honda have been trying to overcome throughout 2024, are able to get inside the top 10, which I don't think is out of the question. It's certainly going to be a big ask. But if that is to be the case, oh, wow, what a Friday it would be for Lucio. His feet definitely won't be on the grounds then, because he'll be jumping up and down for pure joy, and for good reason as well. Right, one final stroll down the MotoGP paddock here before we say goodbye and I go and grab myself some lunch. As you can see, there's a lot more energy to me here in Barcelona. Rather than the 40 degrees, 1 second, of, I thought I saw Maverick Vinales, but I didn't. So, although I am seeing his main man. Here we go. Let's see if we can grab a word here with Aleix Espargaro ahead of his final weekend. He's just shot down there. He's going to quickly park up and go straight into his garage. Not even a second to try and catch Aleix Espargaro then. Fast on track, fast off it as well. Well, maybe we'll grab him tomorrow and say good luck for the future. As we see Bez there as well. And we'll see potentially if we can grab a word with him. No, he's run off. So there we go. One final little stride out. And it looks as though Alex Marquez is going to be our main man for this one, giving us an insight into what happened this morning. Well, bit of an insight. Told us it was cold. I could have told you that. Although it's not that bad now. I've got my coat on, but that's it. Just 2 layers today, t-shirt today. So we're making progress. Going to be down to my t-shirt by Saturday, the big day tomorrow. As we see the garage of the world champion here. No sign of Pecco Bagnaia, but we'll leave you with a shot of this man. Let's spin round. Here we go. Jorge Martin, 89 for now, but for how much longer? This is it, the rematch, part 2. It's all going to be decided this weekend. 24 points in it. I'll be next with you tomorrow, same time, midday, here from the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalonia, following on from what we hope is a fascinating, a dramatic qualifying session. Join us for practice this afternoon, and we'll find out who's inside the top 10 and going straight through to that Q2. We'll see you same time tomorrow for the final episode of Inside the Paddock in 2024. See you then.